The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 423 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. That's right. Let the games begin. It's real now. We're getting into competition, so we're definitely going to preview that for you guys. Of course, we're going to focus more on the Real Espana match since it's the CCC coming up here, and then we'll get another episode out for Miami. You know how that rolls. Of course, we're going to talk about the New Jersey, the release party, some info that we picked up in the process, the conclusion of preseason as well. Yeah, that's right. We're getting into it. And, of course, that signing we talked about last week is now official, so now we can really talk about him. Yeah, that's what we're up to tonight. Of course, the whole crew is here. That's right, everybody. I know there's some cool LAFC 2 news, so we're going to cover that with Araceli today, too. It's a busy one. It is a busy one. I see Tony yawning a little bit down there, but I know he's ready for this thing. Bam's looking ready. Tony, I'm going to you first, sir. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty well. It's been a week just getting everything, ready for next weekend, the big moment of MLS. So we'll see. Exciting. I know the New Jersey launch was cool, so I can't wait to get my hands on that jersey when eventually that comes out for myself. But I know you were there. Fortunately, I couldn't make it. But overall, excited, season's about to start, and also Champions League is about to, or Champions Cup is going to start. Sorry, I don't want to call it Champions League.
Yeah, it's going to take me forever to get used to that. I'm so used to CCL. It sounds so much better as CCL, but whatever. We want to go old school, so that's happening. Yeah, I was at the Jersey event, guys. I don't have the greatest opinion of the Jersey event. I did end up empty-handed on the way out of it. Size issues, whatever. So I ended up buying elsewhere. Oh, well, but still, it was cool to see a lot of faces I haven't seen for the offseason. That was fun. Pretty much ownership. Everybody was there. Mark Dos Santos was there. You name it, they were there. It was cool. That was super cool. But yeah, it was a huge, huge turnout. And then the news coverage for it was impressive as well. So that was cool. Jersey's out. It's gorgeous. You all know it. Bam, are you ordering online, or are you going to wait a bit to buy this thing?
I'm going to wait till I'm over to buy it because I like getting it in my hands then and there. The only way I could order online is through Fanatics, and to me, Fanatics isn't great. There's another F word I like to call them, but I won't do that on here because we're family friendly at the moment. But yeah, no, jersey looks good. I've got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Besides ours, out of all the jerseys that's dropped so far, what's your best and what's your worst?
Oh, best. I gotta say, I really do like New York's new kit, but I think the best is Philadelphia's. Philadelphia with the whole historic, old city vibe. They have the Constitution on there. I don't know. It's cool. It's just really cool to have. I love when they have sublimated characters in the background of a jersey that goes with history. So I think that one's awesome. New York's, even though I love their last dark kit, the patterns tied on this one. And shout out to Charlotte as well, because the color scheme was cool on that one. What do you think, Bam?
For me, there's a lot that I do like. I like both New York's, Red Bulls, and Cities.
Yep.
I don't hate SKC's. I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's nice.
I think that the three that I will call trash, and I'm calling them absolute trash, has to be Austin FC's one.
Oh yeah,
don't like that at all. Houston Dynamo's one. I'm not a fan of that one.
That's really bad.
And I'm gonna have to say San Diego's. I just don't like it at all. I reckon that's god awful.
Compared to their last one, though? Their original?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Nah.
I only have one.
Because it went from looking like a USL side to at least having a pattern.
Yeah, but it's the white with a bit of orange, a bit of blue. It just doesn't. It's like someone's just splashed something on it, and that's all. To me,
Something's missing. Yeah. I get you.
But I agree. Philadelphia's how they've gone the 19. They've called it the 1776 kit, which is magnificent. But yeah, for me, Philadelphia's up there.
Yeah, and it is cool that everybody got a new kit too, like league wide. That was pretty cool to do. That everybody got something to celebrate this year. I like it. I like the vibe. It's a good vibe. Of course, Araceli with SKC having honestly one of the nicer kits released this year. Really, I do like the color scheme. Your thoughts on the releases? What do you like? What do you don't like?
Well, first off, with Sporting, of course, I'm a little biased with it, that I really do enjoy it. Because, I mean, when you look into the history, it celebrates the jazz culture that we have here, as specifically 18th and Vine. And if anybody is from KC or has been here, would know that giant neon sign, like right as you enter the jazz district, that's basically what it's referencing. But aside from it having historical ties, of course, looking at the rest of the jerseys, I mean, a lot of them felt very plain to me, in my opinion, like Miami, Columbus, even Colorado a little bit. But in terms of like patterns, I really did like, of course, I love LAFC. There was no beating that. But I kind of like New England's a bit, where it looks like a giant firework.
That was cool, and it reminded me of one of their original jerseys from back in the day, where they had a kind of a burst come from the logo, from that funky logo they used to have. Yeah, but they had that in '96. I think they had it went across like this, but there's a good reference to the past there. Good on them. It looks cool. Tony, do you have any favorites? Besides ours, of course.
Besides, of course, black and gold, music, and everything. Honestly, it's like a love-hate with it. And I say that because it's a rival. It's San Jose's because of the Grateful Dead. I'm surprised y'all didn't say Grateful Dead out of all of you. But the problem that I have with it is they call it
that old, damn it.
It doesn't have to be that old. They're like generational, like the Beatles. But besides the point, the thing that I don't like it is you can actually just call it the Grateful Dead jersey. They just call it the Dead jersey. Like, most of the time, like, I understand they like, logistics wise and everything, but they actually got the name. They have the logo on the jersey, and that's my like gripe with it, is just call it what it is and just don't say, oh, the Dead jersey, because then it's like you're kind of calling your season over. You know what I mean? At that point.
Yeah, I mean, because we've had teams in the past with the Bruce Lee jersey, right? For Seattle, that was a total hit.
The Johnny Cash.
St. Louis this year has the Tina Turner jersey, I guess they're saying. Right? Yeah. And then there was the Johnny Cash jersey for Nashville that was clearly Cash. It had a Cash logo on the bottom. Like, it's kind of interesting. You're right, Tony. Yeah, they should have just had some guts in the announcement there.
Call what it is. Call a spade instead of calling your season a dead season.
And your worst jersey? The one that you, oh my God, that was bad news.
San Diego was bad. Austin was bad. Miami was just, you could have done so much thing. Again, you have like, I don't know why you lean into the Miami Vice kind of style. You could have done that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they went from having a cool pattern and a half and half kit to just nothing.
Yeah, like it's almost like a warm up kit, and it doesn't. But it also doesn't feel like their vibe. Like, LA, like what we are, black and gold, but like that's how we do it and everything. But like you're Miami, you're more tropical. That's like what Miami's known for, like the tropics, the the environment, like the flashiness. And you could have you give me just plain.
It's missing. It's missing.
But
and I think Seattle's too. I'll say that too, because Seattle's is boring. I don't get that one either.
Not that too. Like you look at like into Miami's kit and all that. With it being so plain and all that, it's gonna what is it? Gonna just fade into every other kit out there in the world wide. They have an opportunity where you're guaranteed to sell jerseys. No matter how bad it looks, you are guaranteed to sell jerseys.
Yeah.
Make something
You're
outlandish.
mailing it in, right? Because you're going to make the money anyway.
Yeah, make something super outlandish and go, here, this is what we're going to do. And then in 20 years' time, it will be that, remember that kit that they did? How it was so bad, it's amazing now?
Yeah, exactly. Something that gets like a notorious look to it that everybody wants from back in the day. I agreed.
No,
So there we go, guys. The jerseys are cool. Now ours. Let's talk about ours more.
Hold on.
Go for it.
That's not going to be the worst jersey release for the MLS coming this season. You will see it. We have it in our chat right now, our private chat. If you want to go check it out, and let live reaction. And if you guys are watching live of Joseph looking at the leaked All-Star kit, which you guys can check it out too.
Wait, you sent it in the chat?
In the private chat. It's in the private chat. Look at it. Bam has it.
In the chat, man. I don't see it in the chat.
The private chat?
No.
Maybe you're a little late. Hold on. Let's send it. It's for all you guys looking. If you guys want to look at for the AirPod, up, whatever you listen to it on, listeners, look for it there.
Here we go. We go.
But here you'll get your live reaction. It's on Footy.
Yeah. Footy Headlines has it.
Mm-hmm.
They say amazing. All right, here we go. Oh boy. Okay. Well, you're gonna laugh at me now because I'm a child of the 90s. But
yes, it is a 90s live.
Okay, so what does this remind me of?
The Grizzlies.
Euro 96. Okay, Germany away kit. Actually had the 3 stripes do that. So it is a 90s throwback is what this is. The color scheme, it's a little weird. So the whole rip thing is okay. All right. Could have been with stripes. I'm near the 90s, about 96. Yeah, they started doing that with designs. So I'm seeing what they're doing. But yeah, and if you're gonna use those colors, that's old school MLS colors, then I want to see more of that. Because nothing else matches it.
And to kind of piggyback off of that, like as a fellow 96er, that's what I immediately thought too when I first saw it, because it's very reminiscent of the old school Kansas City Wizards vibes. Like that's kind of what was their scheme back in the day. If you Google the old kits from like 96 to 99, I want to say, it's very, very reminiscent of that.
And a lot of goalkeeper jerseys from that time had that look.
Mm-hmm.
They did. So I see what they're going for. A little bit of a miss, but at the same time, the design will be popular with, high school aged kids these days, since the 90s are back again. But yeah, there you go. I don't know, man. That's funny. It's nowhere close to any of the other jerseys in the league, though. I mean, yeah, it's not there, but it's All-Star. Who cares? Honestly. Who cares? I don't. I only watch for the skills competition, and I don't even care about the game itself. That's me. Everybody's kind of nodding like, yeah, that's fun. But yeah, there is that. All right. About our kid, I will say this. Kudos to Marcus. Kudos to Pat. This was I think the Marcus's, as you know, Marcus McDougal. This was kind of his last run, right? Him and Pat doing a collab, and he saved the best for last, guys. Honestly, I do believe, at least in my opinion, this is our nicest kit we've had yet. This is the way I like jerseys. I like busy. This one's busy. It's pure black and gold. No grays, no other nonsense, no weird random color. No, black, gold. Nothing more, nothing less. Stadium is on there. So you actually have the reference to where they're getting it from. It just fits, man. Everything is where it needs to be on this jersey, and I think that's why I like it so much. You didn't have to do too much. It just still made it busy. What do you think, Bam?
Without kit, I think it's magnificent. Like that pattern's been in the stadium for how long now, and they're using it, which I think is amazing. I still can't wait to see it see how it goes live in a game, see what it looks like when the player's running and all that kind of stuff. Because again, that can break some nice jerseys as well. It's just got to see what it's like moving, if that makes sense. Because all we've seen is still photos. Really, we haven't really seen someone running around with it and all that.
With gold shorts, that could play as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. I like it. I dig it. I think we're all good with it. I think it was the best in the league. Any doubt about that. I think we're there. You see the comparisons. So there you go. That's the kit talk, man. All good there. I'm happy with it. You're happy with it. Yes.
I think that not having pure gold shorts, but I think if the shorts are the same color that Sonny's wearing in these photo shoots, would work well with it. If they're that brownish gold style shorts, I think will be a lot better than a pure gold shorts.
Yeah, because the shorts might be too bright for the pattern. It's my only concern. We'll see how it pops on the field. Again, you hit the lights, hit it, it might look a little different. So you're right, Bam. I agree. Now, there was one other thing that happened on jersey release day, a preseason match. The one that wasn't listed, but was listed, right? They said they're going to play Cholos to a closed door. Didn't really announce when it was happening. That was it. It already happened. So, yes, they played Cholos. We're going to give you guys a score. No, we're not going to give you a score. We did hear some things about how the game went, who played in the match, when they played. Got that heads up. I will say that there was a lot of turnover in the match, but the opening lineup was probably what you'd expect to see against Real Espana. So basically our regulars were featured early, and then eventually changes happened. The vibe I got, what I've heard from my sources, our sources, is that it was a front foot kind of play from our guys. They were really well organized. They already were dialed in. The ideas that Mark Dos Santos had were fitting into the moment with the roster that he has. And one Tyler Boyd apparently scored a banger. So that's good news for us that he's already showing out this early in. There are some players that aren't quite available yet. Did hear that as well. But we'll be ready to go by next week. The roster should be good to go, minus, say, Aaron Long and a couple others. But in terms of impact players, I know everybody's like, what about Sonny? What about Sonny? I've heard that conversation. As far as we know, he's ready to go. They're just not going to tax him as much as they need to right now because he is already fit. So might as well protect him as we get into this thing. And, it's going to be a tough series against Real Espana. We will preview that. But it just makes sense. Tony, your thoughts about preseason, what you've seen, what you've heard?
I'm excited for preseason. I was, after the beginning of it, I wasn't, because of the defensive laps that we saw for a while and just not getting in there. And I was like, this is a troublesome thing. But from what I've seen now, I feel a little bit more confident for the first half of the season. We'll see what happens in the second half, but for the first half, I feel a little bit more confident going forward.
Right, and I think the only concern we have in the early days is whatever ideas that Mark Dos Santos is bringing into this, how quickly will the guys mesh into his ideas. Now, knowing that he's been around for a while with us, I don't think they're that shocked as to what they're going to expect from him. So, yes, we'll see. Bam, how excited are you after hearing the preseason news and now that they're through it, no major injuries in the lead up?
I'm excited for the 18th. I'm looking forward to our first actual game for something rather than preseason games. As much as I like preseason games and all that, when they're all behind closed doors and mainly against other MLS teams, you sit there and go, okay, just going to get a warm up or that kind of stuff. When you look at, what was it, Toronto, they were playing against European sides. And you sit there and go, why are we just playing against, besides the Bayern under 23, why are we playing against other MLS sides in preseason that we're going to be playing multiple times during the year? So all you're doing is giving them hints of, they tried this play, it worked, so let's look out for it during the year. during the year.
Especially San Jose, right?
Exactly.
San
Where,
Jose. Yeah.
like, just get out there and play. I don't care if you're playing more Bayern under 23, you're playing Manchester United under 23, you're playing big European teams under 23 sides. Get out there and play someone different, someone that you haven't seen before.
To adjust. Yeah. I do feel that the opponents that they chose were a little weaker than our side for a reason. Because that way, at least you can guarantee possession, right? You will be pushing teams that will have to sit back on you, knowing that when we go against Real Espana, that's what you should probably expect, is a team that has to drop and counter, So maybe that's the thinking. Also, very private this preseason. We didn't get to see much. Kind of a secret to all. So that's interesting. Araceli, how do you feel knowing Bouanga's here and no major injuries and a little secretive? Are you feeling excited about the season, concerned about it? Where are you right now on this?
Is it confirmed that deal for Bouanga fell through? Do we know, or is that still kind of a rumor?
It's not happening.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not happening. I've heard that from several people. It ain't happening. I think it was kick the tires, pressure from the other side. Money was never where it needed to be either way. And that really wasn't a push for us to make a move. We didn't have that pressure. Others had pressures to try to acquire him, but it really wasn't a part of the plan. I think if something happens with Bouanga, it would be something in the summertime, not now, if that was going to happen.
No, absolutely, because I agree with you too, that I feel like it is somewhat of a relief that it's not any necessary pressure that the club or even Dos Santos has to worry about for the time being. But I mean, with that being said, granted that this preseason, like I agree with you, it really did feel more private than usual. But I mean, the reality is any preseason, it is always going to be a mix of players from the first squad and even LAFC too, because we don't know who's going to appear in the matches, let alone a congested schedule that's coming up very quickly, because we have the game on the 18th, then the home opener the 21st, then I believe the next CCL match is not even a few days after that. So I am very curious to see if there's any roster rotation. But I mean, just generally speaking, hearing that they've escaped preseason, so to speak, with no injuries or no major movements is reassuring. But at the same time, it's like kind of how we say season after season. We don't really make a real determination until maybe like April or June.
Right. Because again, new coach. Yes, he knows a lot about what we do here, but still, there is that change. Now, backline, goalkeeper, no change, right? So that's settled. They know each other. And then new faces brought in suggest depth, right? Aboyd, Boudry, Schaffelberg, Estaquillo, right? Some are going to be starters, but it's also now you're 3 deep everywhere. So, yeah, definitely built for that. And we will have to see some shuffling as soon as next week with 3 quick games. You just have to. That's life. Unless you want people getting hurt. So there's that. All right. So that's the preseason. That's where we're at. It's ready to go. That brings us to the next thing. LAFC 2. As we see the growth, big for LAFC 2. We finally have an announcement. Someone to lead the way. And it's a familiar face, which just like the coaching choice, it feels kind of the same. Promote within. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Araceli, and the LAFC 2 update. What are we getting here?
Well, there is some very big news, and as you alluded to, we do have a new head coach finally announced. Fabian Sandoval will be the team's new gaffer. He started with the organization in 2017, helping kind of set that foundation for the academy side. He most recently served as the assistant coach for LAFC 2 for the past 2 seasons. He will be LAFC 2's third head coach in club history. And he's also accredited with player success stories like Dueñas, Ordaz, Torres, and Leone. So given his past with the organization, having been with LAFC for 9 years now, I don't think it's any surprise that they did kind of hire within, going that promotional route, seeing all the experience that he has. So hopefully they fare well this season.
Yeah, and it's cool for all of us old guys in this mix. Um, the under 12 side, which is the first team wearing our kit, right? The first team actually going and competing as LAFC. He was a part of that foundation. He was there. So he is that invested in this club. He's been here that long. As long as all of us have been involved, he's been a part of the black and gold. So I don't know about you guys, but that's an investment, a long-term investment. And looking again with the Duenas, the Ordaz, the Torres, Leon, he knows what it takes to get a guy to the next level, to help him get there. So as we've talked about development, Araceli's talked about this several times about how great it is to see the players move up and how important it is for a program. He's one of those guys that makes that transition possible. So results, I don't think it matters as much as development. Right, Araceli?
I mean, results are nice too, let's be honest. But
Yeah.
no, definitely, when you look at the developmental side of things, he's definitely been a key part of that. And he obviously knows the pathway very well. But also, too, along with that, I mean, as far as I can tell, there has been no updates or any new player signings, but there is an updated schedule. So LAFC
Ah.
2 released an updated season schedule earlier this week. Doesn't look like there's too many changes. It's more of like time changes, with the exception of 3 matches that got completely rescheduled. But otherwise, definitely go check that out to see the new version in case anybody's planning a road trip. And as always, the season begins on the road in Tacoma on Sunday, March 1st with a 7 o'clock kickoff. I'll do somewhat of a preview next week because the following week, as we all know, is the opening weekend for Next Pro. And I've already sat through so many meetings this week. I can't even imagine what that week is going to look like. So just kind of a heads up. But what I can say for Tacoma, just like how we got a new head coach, so did they. And it's a very recognizable name, Paulo Nagamura. So I'm very curious to see how he fares with that side. If that's not familiar to you guys, he used to be the head coach for SKC2 before moving on to Houston and Chicago. So to kind of see him back in the next pro world, it's kind of curious. I ain't gonna lie, but again, I am curious to see what he's gonna do. So next week, I'll kind of deep dive a little bit more into that.
Also, former MLS player, spent time, of course, with Carson and Chivas USA.
As well as
For my
Sporting.
grade.
Mhm.
Yeah, Sporting. Yeah. So again, journeyman in the league, very good player in the league. Now he's on his next stage. So familiar to a lot of us that have been following the league for a very long time. That's for sure. All right, so that is LAFC 2. I think it's great news. I dig it. Tony, I'll throw it to you. What do you think about the new coach for LAFC 2? Happy about having one of our long-term employees step up into it?
Yeah, it's a good, like I said, it's a stepping stone to eventually get a head coaching job or just like, move up in the ranks. So it's a good experience also learning the young ones once they get up to hopefully the main squad. So yeah, I'm okay with it. We got there. One of those things of like, we'll see.
It's
more
not
like,
a guy we're shuffling 1 year,
yeah, exactly.
in and out kind of thing. So yeah, definitely. All right, I do see some reactions from our faithful up there. So definitely add in as you can, guys. I see about 12 comments. Let's see who made it on tonight. All the way to the top, you know who it is. No shock to anybody. Dave Gomez Jr. in the mix, checking in from the Netherlands. He says it is February 18th yet. And he says, what's the starting lineup looking like? We'll talk about that as we preview the match against Real Espana. That's for sure. And then we have, somebody new to the chat I see here. It's Yastamiso. I'll go with that. I'll try. 8530 says, how's it going? Stoked to finally catch a live show. Hey, happy you're on, man. I know we're on late, So the guys that make it on and make the comments, you guys are gamers. That's for sure. Coming in late. The faithful, as we call you, because, yeah, late nights. It's an investment. That's for sure. Q Cardi, another regular on here. We love you, man. He says, what's up, guys? Tony, put those arms away. No lethal weapons on air. Hey, he's got to get his fitness up for the season. He's got 3 games in about a week here, a week and a half. The man's got to be ready, dude. And you don't know what he's got to do up on that capo stand. He's putting in work. Right?
Yes, that's right.
And he can carry the Tifo by himself. So there you go.
No, okay.
I'll let it go. All right. You're gonna answer? No, you're good.
No,
Tony's
I'm okay. All right.
All
No
right.
worries.
All right. Now, I'm gonna try Justice Stomo. We'll go with that one. Says LC killed it with the new kit. They did. It was awesome. It is nice and shiny. Hugh Cardi, of course, was making fun of Charlotte. Oh, not a fan of the Charlotte kit. Too mint for you. It's clean though. You gotta say it wasn't too busy. It was clean. And Q says, Araceli, are you happy with the new LAC2 coach? I think we answered that one. Are you happy? Yep, there it is. The thumbs up. And it seems like they follow the same program as our senior team, Promote. Definitely. And I did hear, I had some cool conversations in Jersey Launch why that happened and how it happened. They did look outside in all cases to see if maybe there would be some new blood that would actually change something or add in. And in every case, it was one of these things where we've built something right. We've been competitive all but one season, right? There's been a push there. There's just something a little bit missing. But some familiar faces with some new ideas, and that is something that when you promote someone, you get that. It's just enough to maybe get it across the line. Not too much of a change. So I think that's where their heads are at on this. And I think it now looking at it probably makes a little bit of sense, right? And again, half season, if things aren't working, you know what's going to happen with this club. They're not going to sit on it. That's for sure. Dave Gomez, of course, loves the new kit. Let's see. Oh, I have an answer for this one. Miss Mary Luna asks, how come Bwanga wasn't in the new kit promo videos? Was afraid that many was leaving. It actually is a cooler reason why he was not. He was actually in Africa at the time for the Cup of Nations. Yeah, that's what I was told, is that he was actually committed to that. That's why he wasn't available for the photo shoot. Also, you noticed Ordaz wasn't there. I think he was doing things too with his national team. But yeah, basically certain people weren't available, and for him it was a legit reason. He had a tournament to play. So that's why he wasn't available for the photo shoot. Bam, you've heard the same thing, right?
Yeah, that's what I've heard, which is it's bad timing when it came out because the whole easy staying, easy going and all that. But when you actually find those little bits of information that we sometimes get and you go, yep, that makes 100% sense, it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna miss a photo shoot, that's a good reason to miss a photo shoot. So that's okay. We'll get plenty of photos of him in the new kit, hopefully scoring some goals against Real Espana. And I like it that way. Let's see. J5805. I like that one better. Had the same thought, not seeing Bwanga in the promo. He also had the same fear of not seeing Bwanga in the initial promo, right? There it is, and it's Jason. There we go. All right, Jason. Now I know when I see you pop on. There it is. So yes, Jason said again, he had the fears too. I think a lot of people did. I think people thought that as messaging, that maybe something's off. They didn't want to throw them into promos because you have seen that in some other leagues and teams where all of a sudden somebody's missing from all the promos or don't have giveaways with their names on it. And you're like, oh, writing's on the wall. But that wasn't the case at all. All right. So thank you guys for the reactions. Stay on, add some more as we go, because we're going to get into some crazy stuff down the line and talk about actual football too. So let's move it on. Of course, LAFC community news. There were some cool events, right, Tony? And some cool stuff coming up.
Yeah, some cool events of pretty much the jersey release party, I know there's some things in the works. Keep in contact with your SGs about that. And that's about it. I believe if I'm missing something.
I mean, there was the recruitment events and the bar crawls and all that. That looked like they went really well.
Oh, that reminds. Yeah, actually, if you're not doing anything on Valentine's Day and want to hang out with a couple Empire boys, they're having their meet and greet as well on this coming weekend on Saturday that I saw. So yeah, I just don't have. I believe it's on the. Let me look it up real quick. I saw it.
Yeah,
and I was
it'll be
just
on
like,
their social media for sure.
Yeah, go for it.
That's a given. It will be on their social media. So check it out. They're available. There might be a rally down the line. We're just gonna say it like that. keep your eyes and ears right. Check it out. There'll be something coming up. I don't want to give away too much. It's not my place to do so, but if you're in a 3252, listen to your SGs. There's some stuff going down. I'll leave it at that. All right, moving it forward. Black and Gold Vinyl Club minutes. Do we have any nominees today, guys? Thoughts on the Black and Gold Vinyl Club minute?
I got one because before the whole season kicks off, this weekend is a very popular weekend for a lot of people that are newly in love, trying to find love and all that kind of stuff. So with it being Valentine's Day coming up this weekend, I love you, Tony. You know that. I'm going to go with a song that's been covered multiple times. From the first done recording was back in 1930. So but my favorite came out in the 50s, and it was with Louis Armstrong, and it's "Dream a Little Dream of Me."
That's a good one. I like it. I'm gonna go with Cake and their album Fashion Nugget. Their guitarist Greg Brown recently passed away. Being a child of the 90s, that was a band I was really into. Not gonna lie. They were a lot of fun. Still are a lot of fun. They just recently toured too, but yeah, he passed. Sadly, man, too young, dude. That's for sure. But Going the Distance is probably the song that you all know. So this is the year, right? That's what I'm thinking. You got to go to the distance. So there it is. Yes, Bam.
I literally was tossing up between those two songs.
Right. I mean, dude, Cake is so good. If you go back, guys, check it out. Amazing. They're out of Sacramento too, so it's a California band as well. So there you go. Any other nominees?
Yeah, I got one. Ooh. I'll go with K-pop with 50/50. Cupid. That's my favorite. We'll go with that one. Is that what you think? Try again. It's not what you think it is. You think it's all lovey-dovey. It's not what it is.
Yeah, I bet you it's like some tortured kind of song. Kind of like all of us waiting in line at the jersey release to be empty-handed. But we love this club, man. We'll do it. We do it anyway. All right, Araceli, any thoughts? I'm throwing out there.
I can't really single out one song, but I gotta say anything Bad Bunny in celebration of the Super Bowl halftime show, because I can't be the only one that still has it on repeat.
I mean, you had 15 songs to choose from that medley, so good on him. Honestly, it was a great show. It really was. Again, you throw 15 songs in that short period as a proper medley. Get Lady Gaga out there. You get Ricky Martin out there. It's just, it was cool.
And he also paid homage to the old school reggaeton artists.
Yeah. Home run all the way. Like, you couldn't do any better. I should say touchdown, but I know that's where my head's at. All right, let's move on. Let's talk some football. That's right. The Concacaf Champions Cup. See, I said league on the bottom again because I just couldn't help myself. It's never going to go away. I just can't help it. But yes, we're talking about Champions Cup. Basically, we're playing Real Espana. We got to go down to Honduras for this. Not an easy place to play. 7 p.m. kickoff, February 17th at the Estadio Francisco Morazon Stadium in San Pedro Sula. That's right, the big city. Field is about 26,000 on a hybrid. So grass artificial hybrid field, recently upgraded not too long ago. So it is a pretty decent field quality that we're going to be dealing with here, and a team that's looking the part so far. They got 3 wins and 2 draws after only 5 games in. So again, we've played no competitive matches. They're 5 in. And they had a rivalry match recently that they won. So they're sitting in first place in their league right now. Not an easy team to play. And of course, there is one very familiar face to the LAC faithful that plays for Real Espana. I don't see anybody guessing yet, so I'll just say it. If you all remember him, former goalkeeper Buba Lopez. That's right. Buba is in the mix. He is their starting goalkeeper, so we will see a familiar face against us in this match. Still a good shot stopper. He did give up a goal Olympico last game. That was a little funky, but he did save a lot of shots in that game. Last 2 games, if you watch the highlights, they're on YouTube. Check it out. Still a good shot stopper, especially with low and wide shots. He finds a way, man. He does. So he's still looking the part. That's for sure. I think other things to look at with this team is, again, first place, haven't lost in their last 5 games. The last match, they won. It was a draw against Juticalpa. In truth, they got lucky. They gave up the goal Olympico later, but the goal they scored was just a cheap turnover in the box, to be honest. Otherwise, it was a pretty tight game. The game before that they won 1-0 was a last-minute penalty against Marathon on the road. Legit penalty. It was a breakaway. The goalie took down the attacker, and so they scored it in injury time to win the game. So a little bit of heroics from their end. I will say, from the bit that I saw, finishing was an issue for them. They had some killer chances. They produced some killer chances. They're really well organized. They press, counter press when they need to. Yeah, they got a proper system in place. Is it the same skill set that we have, that we're working with? No, it is definitely not, but they are organized, and it's a pretty tough side. Not dirty, just really well organized and a tough side. Now, we all know what it's like when we head down to Central America. They're never going to be easy, right? Their road games are road games, and these ones are legit because you have supporters on the other end that are pretty tough, conditions that can be very tough. Yeah, not an easy run. Bam, your thoughts about this game going in? I'll give you kind of the insight as to what these guys are going to offer us. Concerns for you, sir?
Obviously, biggest concern is the atmosphere for me. We all know how Central Americans are like with the atmospheres, and they bring it, and they always bring it. I expect that, again, this is one of the downsides to playing some of these teams, because you hate to see it, but from corners and all that, I expect to see stuff being rained down on our players. I hope it doesn't happen, but I do expect to see it. So from a player's safety point of view, you got that. You also got teams down there that they play against teams from Mexico, MLS, and all that. To beat those teams is like winning the league for them. This is a massive game for their players. So their players are going to come hard, and go for it.
Yeah, I expect a battle from these guys, and like I said, they're well organized. They really are. Their coach is Justin Campos from Costa Rica, and from what I saw, from the little bits that I could see, they really do have a good breakout when they come out, and they do present. They do come out at you. They don't hold back. It's something that a lot of times we don't see when we head down there. I think you're going to see a little bit more of a dynamic defense from them, forcing things. Get Tony back on here in a bit of a drop off. There he is. Sorry, Tony. Took a while to get you back. Yeah, I mean, basically, what we're dealing with is a side that will be well organized. It will be tough to play in a condition that a lot of our guys aren't used to. Realistically, it is a travel match. It is not going to be an easy one. I'm not sure how many days the guys are going to be down there. If it's going to be an overnight thing, but if they are doing an overnight, don't count on sleeping. San Pedro Sula, there has been history for national team games where a big celebration just kicks off in front of your hotel. And that's just how it's going to be. Big old rally. Yes, it happens. So welcome to Concacaf. No messing around. Tony, your thoughts on Real Espana, what they bring to the table, and of course, the unique aspects of playing in the CCC on the road. Well, he's cut off a little bit there. Got it, man?
There we go. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Just my thing just went crazy. High wired. I was having some issues, but it's gonna be a hard one. It's gonna be it's us. Unfortunately, we're one of the faces of the league, so this is a good opportunity. They want to show up, and it's again foreign soil. It's going to be hard. First game of the season. There's going to be a lot of rust in general. Like, yes, we did have preseason games to get rid of that, but again, first game of the season, hard to get that. And then I'm also concerned on the road trip back to not just for the second home game, it's also our home game on Saturday.
Yeah. Are you going to go full out with the roster? Tony, do you think it's going to be our full real starting roster for this game, or are they going to say something for opening day?
I think they would. I think they might just do full roster-esque. They might pull back, I think, start the younger ones that are easier to start. But I also can see them doing a double duty and saying F it and just go, the main squad starts that game and then the main squad starts Saturday because it's so early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, some spots are interchangeable. Yeah, that depth exists. Remember when we went down to Alajuelense, we started everybody, right? It was the A squad, but then subbed out some players pretty early into the mix once things looked a little more comfortable, and got some key players off of the field as quickly as we could, as needed, to keep them fresh, knowing where we were at. It's always tough for MLS teams in this tournament because when it kicks off, nobody's really in full fitness. They're just not. Preseason's there, it happens, but you're not getting games in like this team who's 5 games in, or Liga MX team who's about 5 games in, right? They've been playing, and we haven't. So you kind of have to limit minutes because of that. Araceli, your thoughts about this first round matchup? Big concerns in Leg 1?
Oh, I mean, there's always big concerns when it comes to these type of matches, because just much like how Bam pointed out, going down there culturally wise, we don't know what the fans are going to do, if they're going to try to disrupt LAFC by any means, whether if it's at the hotel or even the game itself. And as far as like the club itself actually goes, Real Espana, it has been a while since I've watched them play, so I can't really confidently speak on their style of play, but I know they have been a club that's been around for a very long time, because I did look them up very quickly here. Apparently, they've been around for 96 years. So,
yes.
Given that history that they have and going up against LAFC, granted, LAFC has a shorter history. They've accomplished a lot in that amount of time, or at least reached high levels. But, I mean, in that sense, even looking at the weather, it says it's going to be 85 degrees that day. So there's a lot of elements that's kind of going into it. The weather conditions, the pitch, we don't know what the pitch conditions are like. And then, of course, as I mentioned earlier, we have a very congested schedule. So I think for us, roster-wise, I do see them going at full force, at least in the beginning, to set the pace. And then, like you mentioned, maybe pulling back a little going into the second half, because you don't want to really risk any injury. I think it's kind of one of those situations. Do you go full force for CONCACAF, or do you kind of play it on the safe side?
Right. I mean, do we honestly think that Sonny or Denny are going to play more than 60 to 70 minutes here? Honestly, do we think it's going to be more than that from these guys? Bam.
I think it depends on the score. You also got to remember, you got those 2 players want to play every minute that they can get. they will go 5 games back to back, 90 minutes, and keep running and keep doing what they can. So for me, it's more I can see them, at least one of them playing the full 90.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're up 3-4-0 by the 60th minute mark, then I can see both of them coming off.
So there it is. Now, let's talk about that roster. Who are we going to see? Who's the lineup? Who's the starting 11? So I'm going to pull back up to our roster here, see who's left, who's going for it. Of course, Lloris is our goalkeeper. There is no doubt. Lloris is in net. Tafari and Porteous seem to feature a lot in preseason, but Segura does as well. Long Delavalle is out. Nielsen is available. We know he is a backup all the way. So who is your starting 2, or are we going to go 3 wide? Bam, I'll go to you first. Who are your center backs, 2 or 3? What are you thinking?
I'm going to say 3. I'm going to go Tafari, Porteous, and Segura.
Yeah, I have a feeling as well it's going to be that way too. Definitely. Tony, your thoughts? 2 center backs or 3 center backs for this one?
3 center backs. I think it's better for it just to get the vibes right and everything. So
there you go. Araceli?
Ditto.
Ditto. There we go. Now,
maybe 3 as well.
Yeah, now that brings us to the outsides. We have Palencia and Raposo competing on the right side, but we all know who the starter is there. Palencia. Yeah, there's no question. And then Smolikov versus Hollingshead. If there's anything that suggests to me that Smolikov might be the guy now, was the preseason lineups. They always open the seams with Smolikov with some of the A roster more than Hollingshead. Bam, am I reading that right?
I'd say so. I reckon start with Smolikov. It's plain and simple. As I said last episode, this is where we look at it and go, get Smolikov in there, get a lot more experience and all that kind of stuff. And you've still got Hollingshead in to jump in there, especially if, heaven forbid, we lose players on the other side. He can jump in there and fit in well. So I can see Smolikov starting and Palencia starting.
There it is. All right. So now that we've mentioned these guys, well, that makes the midfield situation a little bit different, of course. New faces, Boudry, Estaquillo. There's Tillman, Delgado, right? Chouanier with the extended contract, right? Terry and Evans, of course, are kind of way back in the roster. But if you're going to go with the 3 men in the back and you 2 outside wing backs, that limits you to 2 guys to really feature in your midfield. Tony, if that's the case for you, who gets the start for this match?
Tillman, Martinez, because I remember them saying that they bring Martinez back in more as a midfielder. And I want to say Pot. Yes.
But we're limited because you have the 3 center backs. So who's your 2 featuring?
I don't know yet. That one I don't know.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. I can't see it being Boudry and Estaquillo. Like, they're new, man. Like, you really going to throw them in the mix there? I don't see it. I'll throw it out there. I think we're going to see Delgado and Chouanier. I just have a feeling that they're going to grind with those guys. Bam?
Chouanier and Tillman.
There you go. All right. It works for me too. Araceli?
I kind of see a Delgado and Tillman, but I could see Chouanier appearing, it especially in the second half if he doesn't start.
And do we think we're going to see minutes from Boudry and Estaquillo in this match? What do you think, Tony?
I think so. 100%. I think so. We are.
That's where those necessary changes will be right there. And again, wait for the Boudry show. I think we're going to be we're going to be excited, guys. That's for sure. And I've heard some great stuff about Estaquillo as well, no doubt. So upgrade for sure. Now, up top, Sonny, Bouanga, yeah, given, right? Why would it be anything other than that? Who's with him for this match? Is it Martinez? Is it Boyd? Is it Bobase? Is it Ordaz? What are we gonna do here? Bam.
Ordaz.
Ordaz. Okay. Tony.
I'll go Ordaz as well. He's earned the spot. So for this match, I think Ordaz.
Araceli.
It'd be a disservice if you don't start Ordaz.
I have a feeling it's going to be Boyd. I do. I think they're going to cycle with him. Again, who featured in the last preseason match early, who actually did something in this match. I have a funny feeling that you're going to see a cycle with the veteran presence because Boyd is a vet. We know that. Bam's going to name him by number, I think, this season, though, because it's tradition. But
do we have a number for him?
No, we don't. Eventually we will. But I have a feeling. I really do. That was funny, Bam. So there you go. That's our predictions. We'll see what you guys think as well. If anyone wants to throw some comments out there, we'd love to hear it as we're closing this thing out. So, yes, we have the faces. We have the opportunities. Again, Ebobisse, Ordaz, Martinez, Boyd, all can fit into that role with Sonny and Bwanga. That's why we got so many guys this year. That's why we built up the reserve side, you could say, or the guys that can plug in. And Schaffelberg will eventually be there when he's healthy. Bo, I think, is still on the roster, but yeah, come on. We know he's not going to feature. So there you go. There's our potentials for this match. Not going to be an easy one. Get ready. Do we know what channel this thing is going to be on? How are we going to watch this game? Tony, have we heard any updates yet?
I heard Fox.
Fox. Oh, yeah. That's where the other CCC games have been. So there you go. And there's been some upsets so far and some interesting results. Poor Forge, though. Yes. Bam.
If you want to watch it and you don't want to watch it through Fox, VPN, for those outside of the US, we get it on YouTube for free.
Nice. That's cool. I watch my J League games. It's awesome that way too. Dazen for Bam, I know that. So there does
no J League's YouTube as well.
So it's just in Japan is the zone. Okay, interesting. Yep. All right.
Yep.
There you go. But yes, check it out. One of the Fox stations, 7 p.m. kickoff on Tuesday. Tuesday, right? Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. If there's a watch party, I haven't heard it yet. We'll get it to you guys and throw it on social media if there is. I wouldn't be surprised if something kicks off. But yeah, there is that. Check it out. Have a good time with it. Hopefully get the result. I see one comment from the faithful. Let's see who found their way in the mix. Oh, JT805. Jason asks, thoughts on why Martinez is moving to the midfield? I'll go to Tony on this one, man. What do you think, dude?
I think he just gets more possessions and more touches on the ball, and he can be more free. Hopefully he learns to facilitate, you know what I mean, be more creative, but also, like, again, the last image I have of him is in front of the goal, and yes, he wanted to take the shot, but just a pass would have sufficed, and that game changes. So hopefully he learned from that and it goes well. But I believe it's a good move, and this is a chance for him to have more game time and see how we can finally see what we can get with him.
Good thought on that. Bam, you want to add in on Martinez in midfield?
I think that he's more suited for that, plain and simple. I think he has some amazing passes and all that. He gets a little gun shy at the side of goal. So I think putting him in the midfield, becoming that dynamic midfielder will be better for him, and then giving him the confidence to shoot. And at the same time, though, coming from the midfield, if Ordaz needs that little break, he's a perfect to go up to that front position, or Bwanga gets Bwanga gets a little tired, he can step up for that moment. Having that one player that's played up front and midfield, having that person be able to do both will be perfect. And if you end up having him in the midfield to take over that role, would be perfect.
Agreed. And I would say this, in the games that we've seen him play in a deeper role, he's been more effective. We've seen some where he actually does play as an attacking midfielder where he just looks the part. So I think there's something there. Also, he does like to run at players with pace. And if you just give him a little more distance to do that, that's going to get scary for sure. So I think that's why they're thinking that way as well. Good stuff, Jason. Thank you for the comments, man. Keep it up, guys. I know we're going to be wrapping this one up tonight, but we will get back to you, of course, next week, Thursday yet again, as we preview our match against Miami and get you an update as to what happened in this other one against Real Espana. So there we go. Of course, at this stage, you know what we do. Tradition always dictates it. Final thoughts. That's where we're at. So I'm going to go with Araceli first. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts for me are very simple. Just wishing everyone a fun and safe weekend, whatever your plans are. Because as you've heard us talk about already, following week is we're back into the mix of it. We're back into the craziness. So rest up, get ready, because season is just around the corner.
Well said on this holiday weekend. Bam.
For me, I would say enjoy your last weekend with your loved ones before the season kicks off and all that. But if you're like me and are sports mad, there's a lot of sports going on at the moment. Obviously, you got the Winter Olympics going on. You've got the T20 Men's World Cup going on over in India at the moment. So if you get a chance, I'm not sure in the US, but I know in Australia it's been shown on Amazon Prime. Watch some of that if you get a chance. Then you also got the New Balance Dockley Cup in Victoria kicking off, which is also part of the Australian Cup. So our version of the US Open Cup's kicking off this weekend. So you got some of the lower league teams playing each other. Those ones are going to be some fun games. Unfortunately, there's already been a few forfeits already due to teams not having enough players ready for it. But for those this weekend, enjoy time with your loved ones, enjoy time with your family. That being said, it can also be a time of being not in a great mental space for some people. You know, I'm a pure advocate of mental health and how important it is for everyone there is. Again, reach out, talk to someone. It can not only help them, but it can also help you as well. You know, you might be able to give someone that little bit of positive light. Reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Just go out there, talk to people. And if you do need help, please go get it. For those in the LA area, you can call 800-854-7771, or you can text 988, and that can help you through it. If you do need it, please reach out and get it.
Thank you for that, Bam. No doubt about that. Especially on, again, holiday weekends, extended weekends, there's greater risk, right? Of being isolated. So reach out to your friends, have those conversations. It's kind of a double holiday weekend, let's be real. So yeah, stay in contact. Have a good weekend with everybody. Share your space with others. That's for sure. Tony, final thoughts.
Final thoughts is just, keep the conversation going, have conversations with everybody, and, heal is the best way of just like understanding your history and learning from all around. Again, it's just because you can't understand what someone's going through, you have now a new sense of purpose of understanding how someone else's life is. Just because you don't understand it, you finally get to live their life how you were. But moving forward, just have a great Valentine's Day weekend for all y'all, and and we'll see you guys very soon.
Well said about that on the Valentine's Day weekend. Do not forget your gifts for your significant others. Tread lightly, or just your friends. Everybody likes chocolate, right? Show some love. That's for sure. That's what it's about. And of course, 3-day weekend for most of us. Dig that as well. So have a good one, guys. That's for sure. From me to you guys, I'm going to say thank you to everybody who tunes in super late to join us, makes the amazing comments. Jason, good on you. MVP of the day, that's for sure. Great questions, no doubt about it. And again, anybody else that can get on late night, do it. We love the questions. If you want to preload some questions as well, the comment box is up before the show even starts. So don't hesitate to ask some questions there. We love it. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Heard the other day that one of the owners of the team actually listens in, which was kind of cool. Yeah, that was awesome. But yeah, definitely check us out. We love having everyone on there and share it, because we're gonna get kind of crazy this season. We got a busy season. We're gonna try to get all these games covered. So enjoy it with us. That is for sure. And on that note, of course, our final comment. Araceli.
Stay golden.
Bam.
Stay golden.
Tony.
Stay golden, Los Angeles.
And for me, to all of you, stay golden, Los Angeles.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.